Hi, awesome ones. Well, I haven't done one of these in a while, so I am so excited to do an eye makeup tutorial for you today. And this one is how to give kind of an eye lift instantly. Now, it's no surprise that as we age, I don't know, things seem to droop. Is it gravity that does that? But we do end up having droopy eyelids, kind of downturned or hooded eyes. And I can't wait to help you with this, with kind of an instant eye makeup eye lift. But first of all, I have to take off my makeup, so. You know, I really don't like to be seen without my makeup, but I do it happily for you, the awesome ones. All right, so I don't have eye makeup on. I've done my brows, I have concealer, I have face makeup on, but let's just start with the eyes. What I'm going to do in this tutorial is I'm just going to do one eye and leave the other so you can really see the difference. And usually, if I'm going to a special occasion, I don't do this every day, but usually what I'll do is I'll put in a drop in each eye of Visine. It does get the red out and brightens up your eyes, so I've already done that. Now, another thing that I've done this morning, and every morning what I do, I get some warm water in a tissue and I wipe my eyes with that tissue because there's always sleep in my eyes, and the last thing you want to do is put mascara over that. And then I put a little dab of this eye cream. It's an eye cream from Strivectin, and it's just to moisturize my eyes. I put it over and I put it under, and then of course the concealer goes on top of that. Now for this video, I'm going to forego any eyeliner. I never put eyeliner underneath, but this is a daytime makeup, so no eyeliner on this one. However, we are going to use a lot of shadows, and I have a fabulous palette. I love this eyeshadow. It really stays on. It doesn't get all creasy and crepey. And this is called Urban Decay Naked 3. And with my blue eyes, I really like the purples. And take a look at that palette. It is just incredible. And it also comes with a little brush. Last time I checked on this, too, it was on sale for 50% off, so that's kind of cool. It also comes in a mini, and I'll just show you the mini here. There's the mini. You can see it's well used because I love it so much. And if you have brown eyes, or you really want to stick with neutrals, there's a Naked 2 as well, if I can get this open here. All right, and look at the colors on that. Isn't that lovely? So those are the palettes that I like to use. And as usual, I'll have most of the eye makeup that I'm featuring today in this tutorial underneath the video description and also in the comments. And if you're kind of wondering, what about the rest of her makeup? You can find that at amazon.com/shop/awesomeover50 in the makeup section. All right, so first let's find a highlighter color, and I like this right here. This is not shiny, and what I'm going to do, this color is called Strange, which is kind of strange for a color, but anyway. So this is the brush that's supplied with the palette. I'm gonna get a lot on there, and what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna put this right here on my lid, a little bit underneath the brow bone, and then I'm going to turn it over because I want quite a bit in this part of my eye, right in here. Just kind of brightens things up a little bit. So let me just kind of smooth that out a little bit. There you go. You can see, oh, and by the way, we're talking about hooded eyes, right? Downturned eyes, droopy eyes. So you can see already that there's a little bit of an eye lift here just with the first application of powder. All right, so I have blue eyes, and again, I love the plums for blue eyes. So I'm going to use the matte colored plum here, and it's called Nooner. Okay, all right, so I'm just gonna get that on a brush here, and Now, this gets kind of interesting. I want to put this in the crease of my eye, just like this, all right? So I'm going to put a little bit on right now, blend it in a bit. However, I want an uplift with my eyes, so I'm going to use a little 3x5 card here. You can also use a tissue that's folded, it'll work just as well. And watch this, we're going to just go ahead and we're going to put it there and kind of lift it up a little bit towards the brow bone. All right, now you're probably saying to yourself, that looks terrible, but we're going to do some blending very, very soon. Now in this palette, I want to use the color Factory. It's a little bit of a brown, but the other one, Dark Side, is just too dark. So I'm just going to get a little bit on here, and I'm using an angled brush for this. All right, so let's put our 3x5 card back up here, and we're going to go into the crease. Just into the crease. And again, this is going to help to lift your eyes, give it a little bit of definition, but we don't want to go past this cardboard here. So there you go. All right, so using a brush like this, or sometimes I use a brush like this as a blending brush, what we want to do is we really want to blend this out because it's looking a little strange. Of course, I use the eyeshadow strange, so that kind of makes sense. Anyway, all right, so I'm going to blend it. Some people do the windshield wiper blending too, just as long as you don't have a solid line up here, because that's going to look a little bit awful or strange. All right, that's softening it up quite a bit. Now, next I want to prime my eyelashes, because as we get older, a lot of the times we just don't have those eyelashes as much anymore. So this is the CoverGirl Exhibitionist Primer. And you know how much I love the CoverGirl Exhibitionist mascara. It's just fabulous. It washes off like a dream. I'm not talking about the waterproof. That's harder to get off. And it doesn't smudge. So we're going to get to the real mascara in just a second. But for right now, I'm just going to put a little bit of this primer mascara. It goes on kind of a beige color, as you can see there. And just put that on. Now, if you wanted to curl your eyelashes beforehand, go right ahead. Now there's a pretty dark color here, it's called Dark Side, and I'm using a little brush like this. What we're going to do, just to make sure we don't go over, we're going to put this dark right here in the corner. All right, just a little bit. I don't know if you can see that there. Oh, there we go. A little bit in the corner. Just a little bit more in that corner, and also make sure that you sweep it up a little bit. All right, okay, so now my eyelash primer has dried, and I'm going to use my CoverGirl Exhibitionist. My color that I like to use, there's a new one for you, is brown black. I find that, you know, the black or the dark black, it's just a little bit too harsh these days, so let's just put on one coat of mascara. Generally, I put on 2 or 3 coats of mascara. So let's do the first one first. And in between, whether you're doing the primer or the mascara, please make sure that they dry, okay? Or else you're going to get those clumpy, lumpy things happening. That's about all I want to do on that, and I'm going to put it back. All right, now I told you that I'm not going to use any eyeliner, but with a brush like this, I have some of that Dark Side powder on. So I'm just going to put a little bit in the corner here and a little bit underneath, just kind of blending it all. Okay, that just gives me a little bit. You can already see how the eyes are just, this eye anyway, is kind of opening up, all right? And now what I would do with this, of course, is I didn't put any primer on my lower lashes. I usually don't do that. But I'm going to put a little bit, just a little bit of mascara on there. And now this one's probably dry, so let's put a good second coat of mascara on. Now, you know this kind of blobby stuff on the end here? We're trying to give our eyes an eye lift. So what I try to do is just get into the corner there. You see what I'm doing here? And I'm just giving myself a little bit of an eye lift there. Notice I'm not wearing any false eyelashes. Personally, I don't like false eyelashes because sometimes they come apart and they look terrible. So I do a lot of this just with mascara. I have never actually done a video, and I've been doing this for years now, with false eyelashes. They're always my real eyelashes. But of course, if yours have gone astray, like some of our eyebrows do, and you need them, then by all means, go right ahead. All right, so there you go. This is a beautiful second coat of mascara, but I'm making sure not to get them clumpy. Now, I mentioned that I didn't want to use any eyeliner, but here's some eyeliner. It's by Maybelline. It's called Skinny. All I want to do with this is I just want to kind of attach the lower lashes to here and just a little uptick. Just a small little uptick there for my eyes. All right, again, we need to do the illusion of an eye lift. Now this, where we put the 3x5 card, it's looking a little bit like it's not natural. So what we do now is we're going to do the blend, blend, blend again, and just kind of blend it out so it looks a lot more natural. All right, so let's take a look at the before eye and the after eye. If you can see here, this eye, it looks droopy, it looks downturned, it looks hooded, but I do look like I had an eye lift here, and it was all done just with makeup. I also look more youthful, more vibrant, and I just love this way of doing eye makeup. All right, what I'm going to do off camera right now is I'm going to do the other eye and finish up this video. A quick presto changeo and both eyes are done. All right, and I'm going to have an inspirational message for you in just a minute. But if you like videos like these made by a woman who certainly isn't in her 20s, I would love for you to subscribe. There's a button down there somewhere, and don't forget to click on the bell. Now, earlier I talked about how gravity seems to be pulling everything downward, but we can help that with a little bit of makeup and maybe even with a little bit of a support bra, right? But you know what? If you have your health, the most important thing to think about is uplifting your mindset. Hey, we're all on this aging journey together. And if you've been watching Dolly Parton lately, she is just looking amazing. And Cher's performing as well. And they're both 77 years old, absolutely not being defined by the age on their birth certificate. So let's do what we can with the uplifting eyeshadows and mascaras and maybe even the support bras. And let's age with attitude. Let's be a beacon of light for the daughters of this world. And let's show them that, you know, aging is kind of cool and nothing to be feared. And for me, that's just one more way to keep it awesome.